Everything they taught you about success is wrong. I know because I believed it for most of my life. They told me that hard work would set me free, that sacrificing today would guarantee happiness tomorrow, that if I just stayed disciplined, patient, and busy enough, life would eventually reward me. So I waited. I worked. I postponed joy. I told myself I was being responsible. I told myself I was doing the right thing. But at 75, sitting alone in a quiet house, I finally understand the truth. Success doesn't steal your life. You give it away slowly, willingly, by believing there will always be more time. There isn't. My name is Robert. I turned 75 last week. I don't have a YouTube channel with millions of followers. I'm not a guru. I'm not here to sell you a course on how to get rich. I'm here because I have something you don't have yet. I have the view from the finish line. I've already lived the decades you're struggling through right now. I made the money. I built the career. I checked all the boxes I thought mattered. And now in these final years, I find myself replaying the movie of my life, looking back at moments I rushed past, seeing things clearly that I was simply too busy to notice back then. For 40 years, I was what people like to call a success story. I was a corporate lawyer, a senior partner at a respected firm in Chicago. I wore expensive suits. I drove a brand new Mercedes every 2 years. I had the corner office, the skyline view, and the long hours that made people nod with approval. 70 hours a week, sometimes 80. And I wore that exhaustion like proof that I mattered. I told myself the same thing you might be telling yourself right now. I'm doing this for my family. Just a few more years. Once I make partner, then I'll slow down. I remember saying those words so many times they stopped meaning anything. There were dinners I skipped without thinking, birthdays I arrived late to, evenings where my wife fell asleep alone while I answered emails I no longer remember. But at the time, it all felt justified. I was building a future. I was doing what responsible men were supposed to do. I truly believed I was winning. But life has a way of laughing at our plans. I retired 5 years ago. For the first time in decades, everything was ready. The work was finished. The money was there. The calendar was finally open. Sarah and I started planning the trip we had talked about for years. Italy, train tickets, hotels, a small apartment near the countryside. We packed slowly, carefully, like people who believed they had all the time in the world. 1 week before the flight, Sarah had a stroke. She didn't die. That almost made it harder. She survived, but her body never came back to her. She couldn't walk. She couldn't travel. Some days she struggled to speak. The suitcases stayed by the door for months. Then they were put away. Everything was ready, except her. A few months after the stroke, Sarah was resting in the hospital bed we had set up in our bedroom. The house had become quiet in a way I wasn't used to. One afternoon, while the nurse was with her, I started organizing the small table next to her bed. Medications, papers, things that no longer had a place. That's when I found it. A travel brochure for Tuscany, old, faded, printed in 1995. Inside the pages was a folded note she had written to herself. Not to me, to herself. It was a short list. Walk in Milan in the rain. Take a pottery class together. Have a picnic on a Tuesday. I sat down in the chair beside her bed and held that paper in my hands. I didn't cry because she was ill. I cried because I finally understood. Those weren't big dreams. They didn't require retirement or money or waiting. They only required my time. I realized that while I was busy building a future, the actual life I was supposed to be living was happening right in front of me, and I missed it. I realized that I was successful in the eyes of the world, but I was bankrupt in the things that actually mattered. For most of my life, I believed the phrase, everyone repeats without thinking. Time is money. I built my entire life around that idea. I traded hours, weekends, evenings, all of it believing I could buy it back later. But at 75, I finally understand how wrong I was. Money can be replaced. You can lose it and earn it again. You can make more. Time doesn't work that way. Time isn't money. Time is your life. Every hour I gave to work I didn't love, every weekend I sacrificed for people who barely knew me was a piece of my life I will never get back. I also believed happiness was waiting somewhere ahead, after the promotion, after the house was paid off, after things slowed down. But there is no when. If you can't find life in an ordinary Tuesday, you won't find it in a corner office. Success isn't a destination. It's a moving target. And one day you simply run out of time. You know, what stays with me now, it isn't the big trips we never took. It's the ordinary moments I treated like they didn't matter. I think about Tuesday evenings. Not holidays, not vacations, just Tuesdays. Sarah would sit on the couch and ask if I wanted to take a short walk, 10 minutes, around the block. And I would say, not tonight. I'm tired. I think about Saturday mornings too, when my daughter was 7 and asked if I could make pancakes. And I said, not now, sweetheart. I have to prepare for a trial. I think about the mornings when Sarah made coffee and waited for me to sit down. I think about the quiet dinners where we ate together but didn't really talk. Not because we were angry, because I was distracted. Those moments didn't feel important then. They felt easy to postpone, but those moments were our life. Now the house is quiet, the calendar is empty, and I would give anything for one more ordinary Tuesday where nothing special happens except us choosing each other. I had a friend in law school named Marcus. He was smarter than me, everyone knew it. 2 years in, Marcus quit. He said he didn't want to spend his life in courtrooms. He became a high school history teacher. I remember feeling sorry for him. I told myself he was wasting his potential. Marcus made a fraction of what I made. He drove an old car. He never owned a big house. But he coached his son's baseball team. Every season, every game, he spent summers traveling with his wife in a beat-up camper van. On Sunday evenings, he played guitar on his porch while his kids sat on the steps listening. Marcus died last year. At his funeral, the church was full. Former students, neighbors, friends, family. People didn't talk about his resume. They talked about his presence. I spent 40 years believing I was winning, and he was falling behind. Now standing here at 75, I see it clearly. Marcus lived. I just worked. So let me ask you something. And don't answer me. Answer yourself. What are you trading your time for right now? What moments are you postponing, telling yourself you'll get to them later? Are you waiting for things to slow down, for the kids to grow up, for the right time to finally live? Because here's the part no one warned you about. There is no signal, no announcement. No moment where life taps you on the shoulder and says, now is the time. One day the calendar just clears, and the people you were waiting to spend time with are no longer waiting. What are you choosing today? I'm not sharing this to make you sad. I'm sharing it because for me the clock is almost out. I can't go back to 1990 and make those pancakes. I can't go back and take that trip to Italy with Sarah. Those doors are closed. But for you they aren't. You still have time. Time to close your laptop tonight. Time to sit on the floor with your kids. Time to make a call you've been putting off. Time to choose a life that doesn't need to be postponed. I climbed the mountain everyone told me to climb, and at the top there was nothing waiting for me. So don't wait for someday. Your life isn't later. It's happening now, and the choice is yours.